guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Molly, aka the Bibliophile Blonde, if you haven't figured that out. And guys, we just have to talk about this. We have to talk about the Atlas 6. Like, we have to talk about it. We just have to. I am struggling to find the appropriate words for my confusion, my frustration, my general sense of wonderment. This book obviously has been all over BookTube, Booktok, Bookstagram, book. Is that what Facebook would be? If there was like a Bookstagram, bookish community on Facebook, it would be book. Maybe that's why it hasn't caught on. Anyway, this book has been everywhere, and I just want to say first and foremost, like, shout out to Olivia Blake, because she's a great author. I want to make it very clear that nothing about this video is a critique on the writing itself, because she is an excellent author and girl can write. And I love that for her, and she is an indie author who got her bag. She's huge now, and we love to see it. Like, we love seeing indie authors who blow up and get publishing deals in trad. That's amazing. So this is not at all a commentary on her writing skills. She's excellent. I'm so glad she's making her money. However, I feel like if anything, this is just a massive marketing fail. And like, I'm not qualified to talk about a lot, but I do have a bachelor's degree in marketing, PR, and advertising. I'm about to have my graduate degree in marketing, so I feel like I'm probably qualified at this point to talk about marketing. And I feel like that is what set me up, at least, for failure when it comes to the Atlas 6. Because, oh my God, was I marketed one thing and did I get another? Let me just start out by reading. I will read to you the interior flap of the book. So this is like the official summary, because this is the interior flap of the book. This is not like we're not even gonna go off of like all of the TikToks and the Instagrams that I've seen that I feel like mismarketed it as well, but like, let's just go off of the source material. Okay. Seek it if you wish, but as with all knowledge, whatever follows will be yours to bear alone. Each decade, only the 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected to earn a place in the Alexandrian Society, the foremost secret society in the world. The chosen will secure a life of power and prestige beyond their wildest dreams. But at what cost? Each of the 6 newest recruits has their reasons for accepting the society's elusive invitation. If it means growing closer than they could have imagined to their most dangerous enemies, or risking unforgivable betrayal from their most trusted allies, they will fight tooth and nail for the right to join the ranks of the Alexandrians, even if it means they won't all survive the year. Okay. So going off of that, we have a lot of, obviously, the Library of Alexandria. Duh. Like, they're librarian, we know this, it is the Alexandrian Society, it is a secret society, and it's aware, it is made apparent from other marketing materials, etc., that this is like about the Library of Alexandria. Like, they're joining a secret society. It's like the Illuminati of the Library of Alexandria, right? But like, the library still exists and it needs these magical protectors. Great. So I'm going in thinking like, amazing, I love that stuff. I love anything that has to do with the Library of Alexandria. I love fantasy, and I was going in preparing myself for a book that was for like fans of the Mummy movie and like meets Indiana Jones. Like, I was ready for like secret society, Library of Alexandria. Like, are we gonna have some immortal people in there? We're gonna get a lot of amazing different cultural references, historical references. I was like, this is gonna be like the historical fantasy, like nerdy thing of my dreams. It was not. I just have one, like, if I could sum up like one overarching question, it would be this: where was the library? Where are the turtles? Where was the library? This book features very little to do with the Library of Alexandria. Yes, that is technically the point of this a secret society, but they don't really stay at a library. They stay in this manor house, and throughout the book, I guess here's my like diet spoiler warnings. Actually, no, maybe just like straight up spoiler warnings. Proceed with caution, spoiler warnings. I'll just blanket that. they like will try to go get manuscripts from the library, which is somewhere. We never get a cool description of it. We don't spend near enough time in that setting, in my opinion. And then they just always are like, the library has denied your request because there's some sentience to the library. That's cool. I wish we would have seen a lot more of that. Sure didn't. And then there's just a lot of like, the library denies your request, like I said, for all of these like cool manuscripts and stuff that they want to do. Very early on in the book, when we meet one of the candidates, she is eventually, you know, she decides to become an initiate for a lot of reasons, but there was a specific line where she was tempted to join because she was saying, oh, I could get my hands on Circe's manuscripts. So in this world, Circe, the Greek mythological character who was a witch, like she's, you know, like, oh, this Library of Alexandria has like Circe's manuscripts on witchcraft. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. That's the direction I thought we were going in. Like, oh, they're gonna beat the bad guys because they've have like Circe's original manuscripts and stuff like that. And then it was never mentioned again. Like, none of that happened. All 6 of the initiates, I just didn't really like any of them. Maybe that was the point, so who's to say, but like I didn't really like any of them. I felt like, in my opinion, the book was 30,000 words too long and nothing happens. Nothing happens. There's a twist in the last like legitimately 10 pages, but this whole thing I feel like was a massive, massive prologue for book 2. And like, she set it up where book 2 could be amazing. Because I know there's a lot of commentary of like, yeah, but like they're not in this society yet, so of course they wouldn't have access to the library and stuff. Which, that's a really valid point. I get that. I just wish there would have been more focus on those kind of vibes, I guess, as opposed to this felt like a bunch of kids. I mean, they're graduate students, most of them. I don't think any of them are, I think the youngest one just graduated college. I don't really know the ages of some of the other ones, but they're young adults. Like politicking with each other, like playing mind games. I almost feel like there's part of this book that could be classified as a political thriller more than anything else. Like, just absolutely not. I feel like it totally lacked on those dark academia vibes, the magical adventure that I was looking for. And if you are intrigued at all because it said Library of Alexandria, then you'll be disappointed. Like if you're, I feel like if you're going in for like Library of Alexandria, you'll be bummed. If you're going in for like contemporary fantasy, because it's in a very modern world with magic, so urban fantasy. If you're going for like urban fantasy mind thriller, I feel like I probably would have had way different expectations going in and I would have been fine with it. But that's not what I went in with, and I was disappointed. There's one sex scene in this. It is not very detailed. It is on page, but like it's not smutty. Like you don't read it and go like, oh my God, that's hot. Because like it's not detailed, but like there's one sex scene on page. I didn't think it was hot. I saw somebody at one point was saying this was like a sexy book. No. And then I think there was just a couple things again in the plot that made absolutely no sense. There was literally on page 137, I have it written down. On page 137 or 134, whatever, one of those, I wrote in the margin, because I write in my books, I take notes, character name equals bad guy, question mark. Like I guessed it, and it's like almost a 400-page book. I was like 25% in, and I was like, yep, okay, that's the bad guy. And then, spoiler alert again, here's your warning. I thought that it was very clear from the dust jacket, again, from the flap of the book, like if they don't all survive, and like 5 out of the 6 initiates get in. So I thought it was common knowledge going into the book that whoever doesn't make it dies. Like they're not fired. Like if the 6th person who doesn't make it, like I was like, yeah, they die. Like that's obvious. That's just a known fact. Like there's magic in this world and the 6th one dies and it whittles them down to 5. But like 60-70% into the book, that's like a huge reveal, and all the characters are like, oh, one of us is gonna die, and it's like this huge thing, and I was like, well, no shit. Like what the fuck did you think was happening? So I think my biggest thing for me again is this is absolutely more of a marketing thing, because I was going in looking for like sexy, dark academia, Library of Alexandria, etc., etc. I got tons and tons and tons of inner monologue and politicking and alliances being made back and forth, and like it just didn't done with enough, in my opinion, to like keep me engaged. I read it for our book club, which is part of Patreon, and if I hadn't been doing it for book club, I feel like I would have DNF'd because it just was a completely different vibe shift from what I was expecting. So again, but I have a ton of tabs, as you can like maybe probably see, because I think that the prose was gorgeous. Like Olivia Blake is absolutely a wonderful writer. So I think her prose is great, and like maybe book 2 will be amazing. But if that's the case, then like maybe it just should have been one book, because I feel like this was mismarketed, which is like 95% of my problem with it. And then the other 5% is like, this just could have been a prologue. Like, there's so much like internal stuff, and like none of the characters reveal more about themselves. Like they don't get more interesting, and you would hope for something that's like so internal with all the characters that you would love them, you'd be so enraptured, you'd get to know more. And I was just bored with everybody. I feel like nothing happens. There's a huge twist at the end, kind of, but like I predicted the whole thing. And again, I just feel like this is so confusing in terms of Library of Alexandria, secret society, knowledge is carnage is the slogan. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, this is gonna be great. Again, like a Mummy, Indiana Jones, like meets Hogwarts library kind of thing. And it is a urban fantasy that is like almost a political thriller, basically. So again, shout out to Olivia Blake, girl. We love that it's popular. I'm glad some people love it. If you loved it, I love that for you. Again, I will say this for like the 3rd or 4th time. This was a marketing thing more than anything. It's got nothing to do with like the book. She writes well. But I just gotta say, all y'all saying this was like some sexy Library of Alexandria thing, I'm coming for you. No, I'm not. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read it. If I'm totally off base, you tell me. I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on it. I know she has another book that's really popular that's out right now called Alone with You in the Ether. Definitely gonna be checking that out. I don't know if I'll read book 2. Are you gonna read book 2? Let me know. Just discuss this. I would say amongst yourselves, but don't. Drop me in the comments a note down below. We'll chat about it, and I will see you guys next time.